Today we are going to talk about a giant that represents America's modern sea power. The USS John F. Kennedy, also known as CVN-79, is the second Ford-class aircraft carrier built by the United States. This ship is not just another carrier. It carries a historic name that has been respected for decades. The name John F. Kennedy was already used on a Kitty Hawk-class aircraft carrier, which served with pride from 1968 until 2007. Now the new Kennedy is designed to continue that legacy, but with far more advanced technology than anything that came before. The new USS John F. Kennedy is huge. It is more than 330 meters long. Its flight deck is about 78 meters wide. That makes it one of the largest warships ever made. When fully loaded, the ship's displacement reaches around 100,000 tons. It is basically a moving steel city on the ocean, a floating fortress that can bring combat power wherever it is needed. This carrier is built to project strength. It is built to move fast when the world changes, and it is built to stay at sea for a long time. The main source of this ship's power is its nuclear heart. The USS John F. Kennedy uses two A-1B nuclear reactors. Together, they generate more than 280 megawatts of power. This is a massive amount of energy. It allows the ship to run almost non-stop. It can operate for more than 20 years without needing to refuel its nuclear core. That gives the Navy a major advantage. The ship can remain deployed for long periods. It can stay far away from American ports. It can continue missions without stopping for fuel like normal ships. Even with its enormous size, the Kennedy is not slow. Its top speed is above 30 knots or around 56 kilometers per hour. That is fast for a ship this big. It means the carrier can quickly move toward a crisis zone. It can change position faster than most people imagine. Speed is important for carriers, because carriers are not only weapons, they are also tools of diplomacy. Their presence alone can change the situation in a region. This carrier is designed to carry a large number of aircraft. Depending on the mission, it can support up to about 75 fighter jets and helicopters. That air wing is the ship's true striking power. And at the center of that air wing is the F-35C Lightning II. This is a fifth-generation stealth fighter. It is built to be deadly, smart, and hard to detect. It can hit targets with precision. It can share information with other forces, and it can operate in very dangerous environments. Alongside the F-35C, the ship can also operate the F/A-18 Super Hornet. This jet remains a powerful and flexible fighter for many types of missions. The carrier can also deploy the EA-18G Growler. That aircraft is used for electronic warfare. It can jam enemy radar. It can disrupt communications, and it can open the door for other planes to strike. For early warning and battle control, the ship can use the E-2D Hawkeye. This aircraft helps detect threats from far away and guides friendly aircraft during operations. The helicopters on board also matter. The MH-60 helicopters support anti-submarine warfare, search and rescue, transport missions, and many other tasks. Aircraft carriers are not just about fighters. They are about building a complete air force at sea. And the USS John F. Kennedy is designed to do that better than older carriers. The flight deck is almost 2 hectares in size. It is like an airbase that never stops moving. One of the biggest upgrades on the Ford-class carriers is the launch system. Older carriers relied on steam catapults to throw planes into the air. Steam worked well, but it had limits. The Kennedy uses a new technology called EMALS, which stands for Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System. Instead of steam pressure, it uses electromagnetic force to accelerate aircraft. This provides smoother launches. It reduces stress on the plane. It also reduces wear on the ship's equipment. The result is better efficiency and more reliable operations. Landing aircraft is just as important as launching them. For recovery, the ship uses advanced arresting gear. This system is designed to catch aircraft with better control and smoother force. It improves safety and makes landing operations more efficient. Small improvements like this can greatly increase how many planes the carrier can launch and recover each day. Running a floating city requires people. Around 2,600 sailors operate the ship itself. Then around 2,480 more personnel operate the air wing. That means more than 5,000 people can live and work on this ship during deployments. Because of that, internal facilities matter. Kennedy includes dining spaces, fitness areas, a library, small retail stores, and even a barbershop. Life at sea is hard. The Navy builds these services to keep the crew functioning under pressure. Of course, a carrier must protect itself. The USS John F. Kennedy includes layered defense systems. It uses missile launchers, close-in weapon systems, and advanced electronic warfare tools. It also carries one of the most modern radar systems. The AN Spy-6 radar uses AESA technology. It can track hundreds of targets at the same time at long ranges. It helps the ship detect threats early, both in the air and at sea. Kennedy is also equipped with secure satellite communications. This encrypted system allows real-time coordination with Central Command and Allied fleets. In modern war, information and communication are everything. This carrier is built for that world. Building a ship like this is extremely expensive. The cost is estimated around $13 billion US. That is a massive investment, but it is also part of America's plan to maintain maritime dominance. And while the price is high, the design is intended to be more efficient over time. The Ford class requires less manpower than the older Nimitz class. In some areas, it needs around 25% fewer crew members. That reduction is possible because of automation and smarter ship design. It lowers long-term operating costs. It also reduces human workload without lowering combat power. The USS John F. Kennedy is expected to reach full operational service around 2027 after completing testing and certification. When ready, it will be based at Naval Station Norfolk in Virginia. From there, it will join the Atlantic Fleet. Its missions will not be limited to one region. A carrier like this can be sent anywhere on Earth. The ship's name is also meaningful. It honors President John F. Kennedy, a man who strongly supported American national power, including naval strength and the space program. JFK himself was a World War II Navy veteran. He understood what sea power could do for a nation. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, the role of naval forces proved extremely important. It showed the world that controlling the sea can support global diplomacy and national security. This carrier is designed to serve up to 50 years. That means it could remain active until the middle of this century. It is also designed to adapt. It can be upgraded to carry future systems and future weapons that do not even exist yet. That is why this carrier is more than a ship. It is a long-term platform for American power. It is an investment in national security. And it is a statement that the United States plans to maintain freedom of navigation and global stability. But the story of this giant did not begin in open waters. It began in a dramatic scene inside a dry dock in Virginia. Imagine a massive steel fortress, 100,000 tons of metal, silent inside a deep concrete valley. Towering walls surround it. Then a button is pressed. Suddenly, hundreds of millions of liters of water rush in like a controlled tsunami. In only a few hours, the giant ship rises from its concrete supports and floats for the very first time. This is not science fiction. This is how America brings its most powerful naval weapons into the world. That exact moment happened for the USS John F. Kennedy in October 2019. After about 4 years of construction, the $13 billion carrier touched water for the first time. But moving a ship like this from dry land to the open sea is not simple. The process is complex and surprisingly beautiful. Deep in Virginia along the James River, there is a facility that has built America's largest naval ships for more than a century. Newport News Shipbuilding is not a normal shipyard. It is the only place in the United States capable of building nuclear-powered aircraft carriers with the most advanced technology. The heart of this operation is the massive concrete structure called a dry dock. Dry Dock 12, where the Kennedy was built, is enormous. It stretches over 609 meters long and about 76 meters wide. To give you a simple picture, you could line up around 500 school buses inside that space. Aircraft carriers are not built like normal ships. Many ships are built in pieces and then assembled. But carriers like this are built as one continuous structure from the keel upward. Pipes, cables, and rooms are planned carefully and installed as the ship grows. During construction, the ship rests on massive supports known as keel blocks. These blocks are built from concrete and covered with wood. They hold the entire ship's weight for years, and that weight is unbelievable. The Kennedy is like hundreds of fully loaded jumbo jets combined. For 4 years, the ship sat on those supports while thousands of workers built it. More than 3,200 shipbuilders and around 2,000 suppliers across the country contributed to the project. Steel workers shaped the hull. Engineers installed electronics. Specialists built radar and weapon systems. It was a national-scale effort. On October 29, 2019, workers gathered for a historic day. It was time for the dry dock to be flooded. But this is not as simple as opening a valve. Flooding the dock is like a precision ballet. It is planned and monitored carefully. It takes days. Each step is measured to protect both the ship and the workers. First, water fills the dock to around 3 meters. Engineers then perform critical checks. The water flow is controlled through special channels. Nothing is left to chance. As the water level rises, something incredible happens. The giant steel structure that had been motionless begins to feel buoyancy for the first time. Physics starts to take over. Even while still supported by the blocks, the ship begins to lift gently. When the dock reaches full capacity, the Kennedy achieves true flotation. It is now a real ship. It is no longer resting on concrete. It is floating inside the dry dock like a living giant waking up. After that, the ship must be moved carefully to another position for additional work. Tugboats, positioning systems, and experienced pilots work together. There is no margin for error. One wrong move could cause billions in damage. Once ready, the ship is prepared for its ceremonial christening. This tradition is deeply respected in the Navy. In December 2019 at Pearl Harbor, Caroline Kennedy performed the ceremony, breaking a bottle against the ship's bow. It was not only symbolic, it connected the ship's future with its family legacy. Even after floating for the first time, the carrier was still not battle-ready. Months and years of additional installation, testing, and training remain. The Ford-class technology is extremely advanced. EMALS alone represents the biggest jump in carrier launch systems in decades. Steam catapults worked for years, but EMALS changes everything. It uses linear induction motors to accelerate aircraft. The launch is smoother, the system is more efficient, it supports a wider range of aircraft types, and it helps the carrier produce more sorties per day. That is the true purpose of a carrier like Kennedy. It is designed to launch more aircraft more often with fewer crew members. It is designed to dominate the sea and project power far inland. One Ford-class carrier can carry a level of air power that equals many national air forces. With fighters like the F-35C, these ships can strike targets hundreds of kilometers away, and they can do it without needing foreign bases. So that is the story of USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79. A weapon, a symbol, a floating city, and one of the most powerful carriers ever built. What do you think about this giant ship? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to wait for the next episode, only on Nice On Channel. Yeah.